Hello, everybody. I'm Payel Kundu. I'm from Neuroscience, and I'm going to be talking about brain aging today. So we know that during aging, there are many changes that happen in the brain. Especially for postmenopausal women, we know that they might start to see some symptoms that they might find disruptive to their everyday lives. Like, for instance, they might start to notice that their memory is getting worse. In my research, I'm investigating chemicals found in licorice root, which is a plant that you might be familiar with in the form of licorice candies, to try and tackle some of these effects. So we know that estrogen is a really important hormone in the body. You might not know that it's also a really important hormone in the brain. Estrogen does decline pretty sharply after menopause, and this can contribute to some of the memory symptoms that I talked about earlier. However, if you give estrogen back in the form of pills or something like that after menopause, you can increase the incidence of certain cancers, which is, of course, an undesirable side effect. So in my research, I'm investigating chemicals found in licorice root that are structurally similar enough to estrogen to bind to those receptors in the brain, but hopefully avoid those negative side effects. Because as I said, these compounds are chemically similar to estrogen, but they're not identical, so they won't act in exactly the same way. So what I've done is take 3 different chemicals from licorice root that are structurally similar to estrogen and mix them into 3 different diets for rats. I then feed these diets to our postmenopausal rat model and test them on various mental abilities. So you might be wondering, what kinds of mental abilities can you test in rats? You might think they're pretty stupid. That's not so. You can test all kinds of mental abilities in rats. In this one in particular, I'm testing something called working memory. Working memory is your ability to hold information in your mind temporarily for a few seconds while you're doing a task or about to do a task. For instance, remembering a phone number for a few seconds before you have the chance to dial it. So here, I put a rat inside of a box that has 2 levers that go out and come back in. So the levers come out, the rat presses one of the levers go back in for several seconds, and when they come back out, the rat has to remember what lever it pressed last so that it can press the opposite one to obtain a food reward. And this happens over and over again. So using this task and tasks similar to it, we have found significant cognitive benefits in these postmenopausal rats using 2 of the 3 different chemicals that we've tested so far, which we think is really promising. And the ultimate goal of this line of research is to contribute to healthy brain aging in humans. Thank you.